I saw myself. I'm dumb. I'm not smart, and now I'm like this black kid amongst all these white people. What's impossible? Several learned. I didn't have one learning disability. I had several, but I hid all this shit. I got obsessed because when I talk to people, like I see where I'm at today, but I know where I come from.
And where does that come from? Where did that compulsion, that drive?
It comes from a disgusting place of not being fulfilled in your life, of afraid of dying, having never accomplished anything. Life created this person, me. Life created me to be this person I was back in the day. Through all the failure I went through trying to build this person who's Goggins. But the work ethic I had, people think I became this guy from running.
Yeah.
No, I became this guy from studying. I had to study for hours. What might take you an hour to learn, take me 2 days. Wow. What changed me was I had to be hard on myself.
Yep.
And I have to continue to grind myself into a fine dust. You can't do this job. And when you live a very stressed out life, like I was living, that's your norm. So not sleeping, being scared, that was my norm. I wasn't gonna quit.
Right.
I'm a superhero, but I'm a liar. I'm that now, but I wasn't born that.
Yeah.
I had to make myself into this shit. But once again, man, you can't lie to yourself. I can lie to you, and I can lie to everybody else, and I was great at it. But buddy, every day in that dirty mirror, that accountability mirror was no more. That accountability mirror, that's my head and go to work. But I saw my reflection every day. But I really didn't know how fat I was. I didn't really want to look at myself. But I was haunted. These demons were in my head every day. Man, you ain't shit, man. God, dog, man. You work in uniform, you get in your lab truck, you go spray for cockroaches. You can go in the kitchens, you eat some brownies and shit. In the back kitchen, you make shakes and shit while you're in there, man. I was like, man, or 6:30 in the morning, I'm tired of feeling the way I feel every day. I'm tired of how I feel. I'm tired of lying to myself, lying to people, and just being some piece of shit. And I always knew in the back of my mind, I could be something special.
Yes.
But I knew the work it was gonna take was gonna kill me. I was afraid of that. I was afraid of the brutality and the suffering I was gonna have to endure. But I knew I could do something. But I'm like, I ain't trying to do that kind of work, man. I'm just not trying to do that. So I chose the path of the of least resistance. So now my ideas, it became so haunting and daunting on me, myself, that I said, I'm done.
I don't know how to do this anymore. You're tired of pretending you're strong. Tired of faking confidence while the world kicks you down.
I'm gonna fix it now. So I must take it. I take all this shit, it's mine. I'm gonna fix all this shit. But I know to fix shit, people wanna find peace immediately. And this is where people don't like me. I don't believe that shit. You ain't gonna find yoga and all this other bullshit. I stretch out a lot and I believe in yoga, all this is great, but you ain't gonna find it in some room. You're gonna find peace from going to war with yourself, because we all got shit. We all got shit. People look at me, the reason why my story resonates with people, because I don't hide. I'll tell you exactly who I am, I will admit to it. People are great at hiding. So they want to just find peace. No, you gotta take your shit, fix whatever's in you, don't just shove it under the rug, fix it, and then you'll find some peace later, after you fix some shit. So now, I'm realizing this, I go home, several months go by, and now I'm like, okay, here we go. It's time to be a Navy SEAL. I needed that to start the war.
Wow.
Without that, the celebration was I can start the war now. It wasn't that I won the war, I can start my war. That's what made me, that's why I've been celebrating since, because I'm always in that battle.
Yeah.
I have peace, but I'm in this battle every day. So I got to 50, I can start war now. I'm down to 215, I have about another month to go, or whatever it is, lose the weight. I dropped the weight, I'm in SEAL training now. The war now can begin.
Who fight with fire in their fists, but kindness in their bones. You don't win by becoming a monster. You win by surviving, broken, open, and still choosing to care. Stay tender, but never stop fighting, because the world doesn't need more hardness. It needs hearts like yours, wounded, aware, and still beating.
this whole 40% rule shit I talk about all the time, that I made up a long time ago. I started making it up through pain.
Tell them what that is. Where'd you go?
So basically the 40% rule is, I am a strong believer that we quit. Because why? How the fuck does a 297-pound cockroach guy who quit on everything is now considered one of the baddest men on the planet? How is that possible? It means I had to change one thing, my mindset. So there's no way in hell that was in me, but that guy was in me. When that guy came down here and said, hey, guess what, man? You're a fat ass, but I'm gonna now make you a badass. I'm gonna miracle this shit to be a badass. No, it was in me. I had to believe and make that belief work. And through hard work, I did that. So the 40% rule is like, we have like a car. Some cars have a governor on it. And when you get to like 92 miles an hour, that car start doing this because it can't go any faster. Those cars that don't have governors on, like a fast ass, whatever, Porsche, whatever, bury it, gone. We have that ability in us, but we have put this governor on our minds. And you have to, the factory that put the governor on that car, the factory is now you that put that shit on your, until you take it off, you're gonna constantly get to 92 miles an hour and do this. Because you ain't gonna go no faster. As a matter of fact, you might even go slower. So basically, I started realizing this through my life, through going through all these times. So now I get through Hell Week, we ended it like 30 hours early, and now we're in Walk Week. After you get through Hell Week, you have Walk Week. And Walk Week is when you're basically just walking around to heal up your body. And our Walk Week ended early because the instructors were pissed off. A guy dies. But the instructors are mad that we didn't finish a complete Hell Week, but I already had a complete Hell Week already. Of course. Because I already gone through one already.
Grind in darkness, build mental calluses. You want to stay broken? Or are you ready to let that pain build you into something unrecognizable?
The only separator is that they really want to be there. There's some people that get inspired, and that inspiration moves them to try to do something. But the inspiration is very high right now in this nice environment. We're in a nice environment. The ocean's out there. I'm talking to you. If I want to go and get something to drink, eat, I can. I watch a movie about some badasses, you're inspired. But the second you're not in this environment and you're actually doing what inspired you, that suck factor is now real. You can't just get off or turn the TV or go take a shit or a piss or go get your girlfriend to cuddle up. No, you're now there. And only those people who have been there a million times in their minds and have lived in that water and have suffered a million times and realize my legs may break, my knee may break, my bones will hurt. I will be the coldest I've been in my life. I will be miserable. And accept that. Because what happens is when you get in a horrible situation in life, your mind, I call it my 1 second decision. When you get in a horrible situation in life, your mind immediately says, get the f out of here. Everybody's does, even if you want to be there. But it starts to have all these different questions in your mind in that 1 second. And it says, okay, why are you here? Why are you doing this? Why this? Why that? And then you start to say to yourself, if you don't want to be there that bad, I have a beautiful wife at home. Doing this, man. Like, this is stupid. This is gonna get these guys injured. Like they're gonna pay for this for the rest of their lives. I'm not gonna break my body up to do this. Your mind starts to say, yeah, this is stupid. But if you are already knowing that this is gonna happen to you, you have all the answers to these questions that your mind starts to give you when you're in suffer mode.
When life breaks you down, good. Let it. Because that's where the real work starts. Not in comfort, not when everything's going your way. Transformation doesn't happen in peace, it's born in pain. You want to change? Then stop running from the storm and walk straight into it. Let it tear you apart. Let it rip every excuse, every weakness, every lie out of you. Because the old you, he's the reason you're stuck. He's soft, he's scared, he's addicted to comfort. And he has to die.
You know, what all the theorists say, you shouldn't be doing this, that's the wrong way to go. I want to own 100% of the suffering I went through in my life. I don't want anybody telling me, hey, Goggins, you can't say this. I would lose my shit. What? I suffered this badly, and you tell me I can't say this? There've been all kind of problems with that one. So I made sure that I wanted to own all of Can't Hurt Me and own all of my own life story. So that's what it really is all about.
Now trust yourself more than anyone else. You were weak. Good. Now train your mind like a weapon. Because this is your rebirth. And rebirth hurts. It demands everything. It means burning who you were to become who you must be.
Because I'm suffering right along with you, but I want to see me get through it. I want to see what you're made of. I want to see, like, almost like the Colosseum in Rome, the Colosseum. And the only way to see who the baddest motherfucker is to suffer. You can't do it by writing a paper. So let's go, because why? What I found out through my life was I thought of myself as some weak little bitch kid. And what I found out, and the only message I want to get across to people is, once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything. And I find it fascinating. I'm fascinated because I'll be in these moments. I put these guys on some pedestal.
Yeah, which people do with you.
They do with me, and they shouldn't. And I was this guy who was a piece of shit looking at these, my God, how are you guys this amazing? But once I worked my way up there, I said, my God, man, we can all, let's go.
Get it fucking done. Either you want it enough to fight, or you don't. Choose.
You want to be great? Then suffer. Bleed for it. Cry for it. There's no other way.
So, do I like suffering? I like suffering in the way that is competitive.
Yep.
That brings out the absolute best in me and in everybody else. So like I want to see a man be defeated. I want to see a man get broken and say, phew. I love these men. So same with you. What happened with me was like, so who I was this nobody guy. And I created this Goggins. And that Goggins, there's David Goggins and there's Goggins. David Goggins is a calm, cool guy that sits back. Used to be a, weak kid. Now he's just a normal guy. Goggins is a guy that is willing to tape up his legs to go after it. In that book, you read about David Goggins and also Goggins. What I realized in my life is that Goggins is who I love. Goggins is who I created. My dad created David Goggins. I created Goggins. So what's happened with me, and since Can't Hurt Me came out, and since I got on social media, which is why I don't like social media, which is why I'm not on there very much, which is why I give people one time, I have to do me. I have to do me. So people twist it, man. I am who I am. What's in that book is me. So now what they see is this guy who's trying to get people to get off. That just happened to happen, man. I didn't set out. When I set out to be in SEAL and set out to go to Ranger School and all this other shit I did and break records, I didn't set out.
Right.
I didn't set out to say, hey, pay me now. I got a story. And I realize now that my life has kind of gotten to a point where people know me, I have followers and whatnot. The biggest depression of my life is you get caught up into helping so many people out, and it's great, and I love that, but you lose yourself in all of that shit.
Truth.
It literally, and people go, man, but my God, like you're changing. I get all that shit, man.
People want success, but they don't want the suffering that comes with it. They want the rewards, but not the grind. The truth is harsh. Every champion you admire, every millionaire you envy, they suffered more than you can imagine. Suffering is not the enemy. Comfort is. Comfort keeps you average. Suffering, it sharpens you. Every rep when your body's screaming, every late night when no one's watching, that's where greatness is built. You think you'll succeed without paying the price? Think again. The price is pain. The toll is sacrifice. Suffer now or suffer later when regret suffocates you. Here's the difference. Weak minds avoid suffering and stay trapped forever. Strong minds embrace suffering and
transform it into power. You don't grow in comfort zones. You grow in the fire. You grow when life beats you down and you get back up, angrier, hungrier, unstoppable. So, suffer with purpose. Suffer for your vision. Because the ones who suffer the most win the most. This is the game. Pay the price. Stop praying for an easy life. Start building a strong character. The most powerful version of you is waiting on the other side of the suffering you're avoiding. Now ask yourself, are you suffering the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? Because one of them is coming for you either way.
What changed me was I had to be hard on myself.
Yep.
And I have to continue to grind myself into a fine dust.
Yeah.
Period. That's where I feel good. I feel like I accomplished something. If things come easy, it's not fun. I must fail at something repeatedly. It has to haunt me. And then once I complete it, I've accomplished something. I don't want to set out and say, oh, there's an A. We're good. Stupid. No. I want to turn it in a million times and say, you failed. You failed. And I say, okay, roger that. And sit there and analyze what I'm doing wrong. Go to these places that people don't go to anymore because all this social media shit and everything's computerized. I want to go to that dark place in my mind and say, okay, how are we going to get this done? And I started creating a whole nother warfare. A whole nother battle started becoming. I was like, oh, hang on a second, Goggins. You have these tools. You have these tools. Your life was basically the perfect grounds for training for where you need to go in your life. All the beatings, all the bullying, all the, you going through learning disabilities, all the struggles. It was the absolute perfect training ground for you to go to where you need to go. And that's how I started looking at my life versus woe is me, poopy pants, kick a rock down the street mentality. It was nah.
Your struggles don't define you. Your courage does. Keep going, because every step forward is a victory. Difficult times aren't here to break you. They're here to build you. Every struggle is shaping the strength you'll need for your next level. Keep pushing forward. Your story is far from over.
My cookie jar is basically something I invented about. We forget how badass we are when we're suffering. Because our mind just stays right there in suffering. The cookie jar is a reminder. You know how your mom used to have the cookie jar, you don't know what kind of cookie you're gonna get. But it may be oatmeal raisin, maybe chocolate chip meat, because she's grab one to go. Yeah. So my cookie jars, the things I've accomplished, failed at, didn't fail at, just kept on grinding through. So I take this 1 second, I calm down, so I realize, okay, man, I gotta be able to just stand up first, come all dizzy and lightheaded, and I go through this process. And I said, I might quit, but not yet. I go, this is the worst shape of my life. So I said I might quit because when you're not gonna quit something, you got 30 miles to go, your mind's spazzing. Like I'm done, like 30 miles is a long way to go, just fresh. I've already gone 70, I'm the worst shape of my life. I'm like, okay, so I'm giving my mind some space. Because if you don't give it space, it's just gonna freak out. Okay. So I'm saying, what, I'm gonna quit, but let me just sit here for a second. And the one thing that made me who I am today is being vulnerable. It's breaking myself down to the absolute rock bottom and being able to tell people who I am. And that's how I fixed it. Literally, being able to look somebody in the eye and say, you know what, man, I have a whole bunch of character problems, character flaws. I've lied about this. I've cheated here. I'm insecure here. This isn't the real me. I lied to you about that. I wanted your acceptance in life. All those things happen, but the thing about it is that we get judged so quickly by who we are. We don't know. We don't go to where it happened. Life created this person, me. Life created me to be the person I was back in the day. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit though. So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where the shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you. And that's when I was like, I'm gonna go back and fix this. I'm in the worst shape of my entire life, ever. I've never even been close to this. Again, never. Mile 81, I'm not gonna make the time as slow as I was moving. And when your body and mind connect, and I think this is the only time I've ever done this,
Okay.
you become a cyborg. I end up running 20 miles at about a 10, 15 mile and get done with that race. I did 101 miles in 19 hours and 6 minutes. And to this day, and I don't detail it well with you, but in the book I do, I learned more from that 19 hours and 6 minutes than I did in all 3 Hell Weeks, Ranger School, and this is months. Ranger School is 60-something days. Hell Week and all the buds is 6 months. I was in buds for like 18 months. You know, I went through Delta Force selection twice, you know, pull-up records. I learned more in that one race that I wasn't prepared for. That 19 hours brought me from utter misery, happiness, failure, success, depression. I went through any emotion in the world in 19 hours. And you should hear how the race ended. Then I really took a shit on myself. Like, I got in that blue chair when the race ended, and I literally, it just was over. I was in the worst shape of my life. I think I'm gonna die, and worst shape of my life. And I'm in this tub, and I'm jackhammering, and I had this hot water hit me, and I'm literally in the worst pain. My shins, my feet, I'm broken. And I'm just sitting, I'm cramping up. And she said, we gotta get you to the doctor. You know, your mom's worried, I'm worried about, like, we've never seen this before in my life. And I go, I'm not going anywhere. I wanna sit here and enjoy this pain. And I know the listeners hearing this are gonna say, man, you're a nut. No, I'm not. What I got a chance to experience in that 19 hours and 6 minutes of my life was something I didn't want any painkillers. This was proof positive. What I was feeling is what I just did. I did something without training, without coaching, without a cheering staff, without any knowledge. I took a raw human being with no training whatsoever, put him out in a condition, and just through this alone, got through it. And I sat there and I was like, it was the best feeling I've ever had and will ever have in my I was in the worst pain in my life, and it was the best feeling I ever had in my life. Not because of the pain I was in, but the pain was confirmation of, my God, did I just do that? Wow. And I had completed Hell Weeks, but that right there was like, don't take this from me, man. And it was confirmation, proof positive that this young kid that came from shit, that wasn't shit, that lied and cheated I was now the truth.
Life hits hard, but so do you. You've made it this far for a reason. The pain you feel today is forging the power you'll need tomorrow. Don't quit now. Your future self is counting on you. You're not stuck. You're just in a difficult chapter, not the whole story. Rise from the setbacks, learn from the pain, and keep writing your comeback.
God just hooked you right up. He hooked you right up, man, with the perfect place. You were training for the first 18, 19, 20, you were training for this stuff, man. You had the advantage of everybody else versus, my God, they're so above me. They came from a great family. Mom and dad love them. They didn't have to learn, they didn't stutter, they didn't struggle. No, man, your struggle is what made you who you are now. So I started flipping this into a whole different, I started being a master of what I was scared of. I was scared of my mind. And I became literally a master of that mind. And that's what now, from now on, it sets me apart from most people. I started diving into that. I was now the truth. I was a Navy SEAL. I went through Army Ranger School as honor man. I went through all this shit. I was truth. I became truth. There was no more lie. And what's funny about all that is the people in my life who were in my life when I was bad, and I call it bad, I wasn't bad. I had a way to go, man. they're still out there, and what I'm saying, I ain't gonna drop names on them. They want to take me back there. They're mad that I'm here.
Yes.
They want to still make me out to be what I was.
Right.
They don't like the fact that they're still where they're at.
That's right.
They hate that. So on this journey in life, there's a lot of people who are now on the journey, is always in the sewer you came from, that's grabbing that ankle as you're leaving that sewer. That's when it drag you right back down because you figured it out. They're not willing to figure it out. There's not much to figure out. The only thing to figure out is this. And everybody has a different equation. My equation is different than yours. My equation was very different than most people's. And it's not about being sadistic. It was just about that right there was kind of like the moment of my life where I realized, I don't like to say that I've arrived, because you never want to have that I've arrived mentality because you stop. But that was the moment that I realized that I was the truth. When you grow up weak and you start to master your mind, because my whole thing is whenever I'm weak at something, whenever I'm scared of something, I master it. I was a weak-minded person, so I mastered my mind. And in mastering my mind, I realized why I no longer judge people, why I no longer put people on a pedestal, because we're all our own way. We all have demons. Some people hide them better than other people. So I know we all have them. By me knowing that, I know that most alpha males are very fragile. Very fragile. They never want to see another person harder than them. Ego up every time. Ego is serious. So if I can hurt your ego, I got you. So by me having such a fragile ego growing up, all this was my advantage. I was doing a live autopsy on how I was. I was like, hey. Well, everything I do, I try to do my very best. And now that I'm out here trying to share this story with people, I want to be so real and so authentic to the point where it was embarrassing to me. As I was writing some stuff and I was giving it to Adam and we were going back and forth, I'm like, man, I was talking to my fiance, do I really want people to know about me?
Shit.
I had to show people I was human. You know, people didn't think I was human. They thought I came from outer space, man, from some spacecraft and shit, and landed down here and just formed Goggins from the rocks and the soul of the earth. No, that's not how it is, man. So I said, I'm gonna share a secret with you all.
The world doesn't care how you feel. Your feelings lie. Your doubts betray you. So ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Because if the lie isn't strong enough, the how doesn't matter. Get up, fight yourself, win.
Because when I talk to people, like, I see where I'm at today, but I know where I come from. And it's kind of hard to almost separate that. I'm almost, not in a way I'm kissing my own ass, but I'm amazed at what a human being can actually do. So when I start talking to myself in the third person, it's strictly because I know that I literally made this human being out of just like a whole bunch of scraps. And I wasn't, I wasn't a mechanic. I wasn't a carpenter. So I didn't know how to do any of this shit. I wasn't trained in how to build a human being from nothing. Like my mom didn't train me, my dad didn't train me, life didn't train me. Well, life did train me.
Yeah.
Life did train me, correction. And I started putting this scrap metal together. I'm like, what's gonna happen? The first year I tried to do was off. And after a while, I started learning more and more and more through pain and suffering. I started learning so much about stuff. Before I knew it, man, I built this beautiful car. And I'm like, how did I do that? And I knew how, and I know how to do it because I have all the tools. So I started using all these different tools and tactics to get in instructors' heads. And the Taking Souls, that's where it happened, man. We're Wednesday, freeze mode. Everybody's jackhammering. Everybody wants to, everybody's just want to get through it now. And the instructors take great pride in watching you suffer. They do. In a sick way, it's kind of funny. You were there once as a student. Now you're an instructor. But I knew, how would I be thinking if I was an instructor? I would love seeing this sadistic shit go on. So they do their 8-hour shift. They have their parkas on. It's usually cold, coffee, drinking their coffee. But what wouldn't I like to see? I would hate to see that. Yeah. So I said, you know what, man? It's time. I can't fight you. You get me up all day long. That's your job. And I love your job. I love what you guys are doing. You guys are making us better. But now I'm going to take the tactical advantage and I'm going to start with you. And they're beating the crap out of us. And when I started realizing, I started playing mind games. I bet these are looking at us, judging themselves about when they were going through Hell Week. About, let me see, I'm looking at Goggins right now. I was better than him. I was better than that guy. I was better than that bro over there. And I was like, okay, you're gonna judge me, right? So what I started doing was I got my boat crew. It's Wednesday and everybody's broken, everybody's beat up, man. And like this, I mean, you start moving like a robot. Everybody's like just kind of just trying to get through Hell Week now, and your energy's zapped. And they know Wednesday's like that over the hump. They tell you how you're supposed to feel. So you are feeling that way. I was like, don't let these tell you how you're supposed to feel. No, it's day one. This is hour one. Through all the failure I went through trying to build this person who's Goggins. You said it perfectly there. The one thing that made me who I am today is being vulnerable. It's breaking myself down to the absolute rock bottom and being able to tell people who I am. And that's how I fixed it. Literally, being able to look somebody in the eye and say, you know what, man, I have a whole bunch of character problems, character flaws. I've lied about this. I've cheated here. I'm insecure here. This isn't the real me. I lied to you about that. I wanted your acceptance in life. All those things happen, but the thing about it is that we get judged so quickly by who we are. We don't know. We don't go to where it happened. You know, life created this person, me. Life created me to be this person that I was back in the day. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit though. So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where the shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you. And that's when I was like, hey, I'm gonna go back and fix this though. I said, let's go ahead and have some fun. I said, we're gonna start. So the evolution here was we just got through with med check. You know, we're stripped down to nothing, and they're checking us out, making sure we're good. Checking for pneumonia, checking for knees. My knees all jacked up, but they're giving me shots and shit. And I was like the boat crew leader of boat crew 2. So I'm in the front of the boat, and I tell our guys, this is what we're gonna do. The boat's like on our heads. So all it was, we're supposed to lift the boats up above our head. That's all you gotta do. But when you're this weak, you're this fragile, you're this tired, the boat's heavy. So everybody's holding the boat and they're shaking, and the boat started to come down their head, and all the boat crews are all lined up and they're up. And I'm looking at that, and I turn around my boat and I say, hey guys, it's time to take some souls. And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, I go, see all these instructors out here, all in their jackets and drinking coffee and laughing and smiling and shit? I want their faces to go straight up and numb. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna start boat pressing this. Just take my lead, trust me, you'll get energy from it. We start throwing this boat up in there, catching it, throwing it up and catching it, and we start yelling, can't hurricane boat crew 2. We're yelling ass off, and we're doing it. And I looked on the instructors' faces, and it looked like someone had just with their soul. And I looked at my guys in my boat crew, and I said, hey, guess what? We on space. They're gonna think about us tonight. But we were bringing the fight. We were attacking. So when you keep on doing that, guess what people start doing? I'm not going with these guys no more. So Bro Crew 2 got a lot more sleep. Bro Crew 2 just became that Bro Crew, like, hey, we just kept charging, and we start fueling off of that. We start fueling off the fact that, man, it takes 1 second of energy to steal everybody's, and then you have all the energy you need. That's all you need. You need to look at someone's eyes. You know how it is when you fight somebody and you broke that mother. He's like, oh God, man, I don't want to go back to the next round. And you feel like, my God, I can fight all day. I can fight all day long. That's what taking souls is. But you have to have the will, the heart, the courage to go that distance when you're exactly jacked up. You have nothing left to give, and give more. I learned how to control my adrenals. If you know how you get that fight or flight response when you get to move real quick.
Yeah.
And you know, I started learning the mind a lot, how to get myself jacked extremely fast, like in a horrible environment when everybody's miserable. I learned how to really find strength in the misery. When everybody's suffering, everybody's all poopy pants and their mentality's down and everything, I started just like, my God, this is where I shine. And I started using all that misery for tons and tons of drive and motivation to then lead people further. Because you can get a lot of power through misery. And once people see that, my God, Goggins is, then everybody says, roger that. Let me get my shit and go too. So I started realizing that if you can just find strength just a little bit longer, you will have a crew of people following you along the way.
Be honest with yourself
100%.
about where you're at.
100%.
People don't like that.
Oh, it's ugly.
Yeah.
And what's funny about it is that as you're trying to fix yourself and dig yourself out of this deep hole that life, society, and you helped also, those people who you saw down there in that hole who were there with you, who were your friends and people who you counted on, because you meet the people in the same situation that you're in life. Those people become your friends. And the second you try to get out of that situation and become better, those people are in that grave, in that dungeon, just yanking at your heels, man, saying, come on back here.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna make me feel like shit by
Right.
you getting out of this hole.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
So I get that all the time now. People would constantly remind me of who I used to be back in the day. And they always come out of the woodworks, man. Versus my
That's still
God.
happening?
You know what? When you come from a small town, and you come from a place that a lot of people don't want to come out of it and get out of it, and all you want to do is become somebody, when you have small town mentality is a real mentality. You've got to be able to get out and let your mind see open-mindedness. Because a small town, what it does to you is it closes your mind. Completely closes your mind. Not everybody. This isn't everybody. A lot of people. You have to be able to go out there and create open-mindedness. You need space. You need space to see the world. Like a lot of racism, a lot of ignorance in the world, it comes from people not being out and seeing other things, seeing other people, seeing all kind of shit. That's why we judge so harshly, because our minds are so closed to the reality of life. Period. I was looking for strength my entire life. I didn't have any. I was a really weak kid. My dad beat the living shit out of me and I was strong as a young kid. But me protecting my mom for so many years in that house, my dad made me very afraid because he beat the shit out of me every time I went at him. So in that, every man wants courage. Every man wants strength. At least this one does. So I found it in every way possible. And when I see a strong guy, I was like, okay, maybe he can teach me. So he didn't know anything about me. So time went on, I left school, and then this guy was in my mind. We had zero money, man. Like at one time, we lived in a $7 a month place, government subsidized apartments. Now we live in like a $200 place at this time. I went on a $500 phone bill. And back then, dude, and having no money, my mom wanted to kill me.
And where does that come from? Where did that compulsion, that drive?
It comes from a disgusting place of not being fulfilled in your life, of afraid of dying, having never accomplished anything. That's a fear that some people run away from, that people don't want to face. When you have a real fear of dying and being just another person, that I live to pay the bills, I made $1,000 a month. This is my life. I spray for cockroaches, man. If that makes you feel good, that's great. It didn't make me feel good. I wanted to, the first time in my life, after 26 years, it was 24, 25, wherever I was, I wanted to feel good about myself. And that was the ticket for it. I have the ability to see the end before the beginning even begins. And what that means is I know that to get to the very end, I can see it right now. So before I went to Buds and I was losing all weight and shit, I saw myself walking across the stage at 191 pounds. That's what I had to get to get into the door.
Your mind will always beg for the easy path. The person you need to become isn't found in shortcuts or saviors. It's forged in the grind. No one's coming to save you. You are the architect of your own greatness. That voice saying you're not ready? Starve it. The past that haunts you? Burn it. Your potential is limitless, but only if you fight for it. Surround yourself with fire, not excuses. Be the anomaly. Be the one who stays when others quit.
I saw myself 6 months, a year later, whatever's going to take me to do it. I saw myself walking across that stage, getting that certificate of graduation from Buds. And I was able to be there at 300 pounds. And that feeling that I was nowhere near feeling, I was able to put myself there 1,000,000 times every day. And that feeling of like, my God, that is going to feel amazing. That's what made me suffer. That's what allowed the pain to be real and say, this is worth it. I want to feel for the next 18 months. It took me 18 months to finally become a Navy SEAL, to finally, just get through Buds. 18 months, it's 6 months. It took me 18. That's what woke me up every morning, was I'm gonna put myself through this pain and suffering for a few seconds. That's all it is. A few seconds of joy. It's worth it, man. That's what people don't get. So I'm able to put myself at the finish line, even though I have no finish line, but at the finish line of an event before I even start the book, to say, how are you gonna feel at the end of this? Right, visualizing is my biggest tool of life. That's why I've been able to put myself in cold water, put myself in a 100-mile race millions of times before I've done it. And I'm able to go through the race and see how I'm gonna feel at mile 50. Almost to the exact feeling.
Right. So when it comes up, it's no surprise.
It's no surprise. I've already done this a million times. And that's the one thing I practice and practice and practice and practice overnight. But also, the most important thing is I practice that feeling of accomplishment that I'm going to have when it's all said and done with.
1% better every day compounds into inevitability. The urgency you feel, channel it. The pain you fear, weaponize it. Distractions will come. Your discipline is the immovable wall. And when doubt whispers, crush it with belief so fierce it becomes reality. You are limitless. Now prove it. You are limitless, but only if you believe it. Believe so deeply that your presence applies pressure. Believe so fiercely that your discipline becomes contagious. Even in silence, people will feel it. Believe you're the best, because if you don't, who will? Success is the sweetest revenge. When they said no, you said yes. You got beat down, but you rose because you remembered how it felt and you refused to stay there. The life you want, it's on the other side of who you're willing to become. So start, push, believe, and never let up.
Your mind wants comfort. It craves the path of least resistance. But if you want growth, real growth, you must train it to choose the path of most resistance. The only thing that can kill iron is its own rust. So don't let your mind be the reason for your own destruction. There will always be a reason not to start: fear, doubt, perfection. But it's better to try and fail than to sit there wishing you had. Don't wait for perfect. It'll never come. Go out there, create, execute, make mistakes, learn, do it again and again and again. You're not where you want to be because you haven't become who you need to be. No shortcut, no mentor, no course can do it for you. You have to build the mental, physical, and emotional strength brick by brick. That's life. It's not fair, not supposed to be, and that's what makes it beautiful.
A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who keeps it under control. Greatness is when you turn your delusions into reality. Everything comes down to how bad you want it. Suffering is not optional. It's the cost of living a meaningful life. Ignore it. It will return. Run from it. It runs faster. The only way is through. At some point, you must wake up and realize any change you want is on you. Stop chasing validation. Stop waiting for applause. You are wasting your precious life. Serious people don't wait. They don't postpone greatness till Monday, next month, or next year. They act now. Discipline is the war you fight against yourself, and victory is non-negotiable. Self-discipline, my greatest enemy, has always been me. Being a winner is a curse. It doesn't matter how much you've won before. You're not a winner until you win again, and again, and again. A harmless man isn't strong. A strong man is dangerous, but disciplined. Greatness isn't talent. It's delusion, turned into reality. The impossible, make it your slave. The pain, run toward it, because suffering isn't optional. It's the price of living. Hide from it, and it hunts you. Face it, and you own it. Life's toughest battles are fought by the strongest souls. Your struggles don't define you. Your courage does. Keep going, because every step forward is a victory. Difficult times aren't here to break you. They're here to build you. Every struggle is shaping the strength you'll need for your next level. Keep pushing forward. Your story is far from over.
The world will doubt you. Your mind will whisper you can't. But if you believe, truly believe, nothing can break you. Believe in yourself when no one else does. Believe in your dreams when the world doubts you. And most of all, believe that every step forward is a victory waiting to happen.
Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're trying something bold. Every successful person once stood where you are, scared and uncertain. Face the fear, because growth lives on the other side of it.
When hope feels out of reach, remember, even the smallest light can cut through the darkest moments. You don't have to fix everything today, just take one step, one breath at a time. Hope may be quiet right now, but it's still there, waiting for you to meet it halfway.
Life's toughest battles are fought by the strongest souls. Your struggles don't define you, your courage does. Keep going, because every step forward is a victory. Difficult times aren't here to break you, they're here to build you. Every struggle is shaping the strength you'll need for your next level. Keep pushing forward. Your story is far from over.